Welcome to another edition of Recruiter Fuel. We've been in this series called Real Talk, where we've had real recruiters, real sourcers, and real researchers on, and we've got a real recruiter. Tim, thanks for joining us.
You got it.
So, technology recruiting.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Well, I got into it a while ago, and it's just something that keeps growing and growing. It's definitely a need for this area that we live in.
But why did you get into it in the first place? You got a bunch of recruiters that are watching this thing. None of us got into it on purpose. Why?
Well, I moved up here from Tampa. I'm originally from Michigan, moved up here from Tampa for a job, and my first day or two here, I was supposed to do finance and accounting, but after the second day, they said they're shutting down finance and accounting, and if I wanted to stay on with the company, I'd have to learn IT. So I learned IT, and that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years.
Okay, you've been in it for a period of time.
Yeah.
So we asked the audience to send us questions.
Sure.
Specifically related to IT recruiting.
Okay.
So you have not seen these, have you?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
So they're all over the board, but I'm
Right.
just going to ask a couple of them. Just answer whatever comes to mind at this particular time.
Okay.
So there's a lot of discussion around this war for talent, specifically within technology.
Right.
And a lot of the comments came in about it's now all about money for technologists. That's the only thing they're interested in. What's been your experience the last 12 months?
That is a part of it, but really it's just they want to work somewhere that's fun, that they can feel they're making an impact, that's something that aligns with what they want to do, just personally and professionally. So if it's a cool company doing cool products, people are into that. Money is obviously important, but really if they're making an impact and they're doing something they like, that's important as well.
So a lot of it's the tools and the technology that they're actually using.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old technology versus new technology.
Yeah, nobody wants to just maintain stuff. People want to work on the cool stuff. They want to develop things, work with the latest technology. Sometimes you have to work with some of the older technology and do some maintenance, but for the most part, they want to work with the newest stuff and be able to innovate and really play around with things at work and at home as well.
So let's assume you've got a position where you need somebody who can do both the old stuff and the new stuff.
Yeah.
How do you position that?
Well, you just have to be honest with them. Hey, you know what? You can work with some of the cool stuff, but the company, they're using some of the older legacy stuff, and most people know that not everyone's using the latest and greatest stuff. A lot of people want to get there. A lot of companies want to do it, but they don't have the right people in place. So in that situation, what you have to do is talk with people and just really be honest with them and say, this is what the situation is. You're going to go in somewhere that has some of the later technology, not to the level they want, but they have to decommission some of the old stuff before they can advance on and really reinvest in the technology. But to that point, you have to make sure that the person that's running that is someone that they can get behind and really believe that they are going to push forward by seeing them investing in things like AWS and some of the latest technology.
So it could be opportunity based on, hey, they got old technology, but they're heading forward with the new technology. So you got to sell them on that piece of it.
Yeah, the key is to be honest with them and just explain what's going on so that they know when they get in there, it's not going to be just the latest and greatest, but they do have the opportunity to help the company get there. They just have to work with some of the older stuff.
Okay, you said honest 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Are you assuming that some of the recruiters out there are not honest with opportunities that they're positioning?
I didn't say that, but everybody that I work with, I make sure they know what they're getting into at the beginning. Because I want to make sure that they know going in, they can ask the right questions and get the answers they need.
Yeah.
Because candidates, when they go to interview, they're not just being interviewed by the company, they are also interviewing the company. And I want to make sure they realize that when they go in, that it's their turn to also ask about the environment, what's going on, so that when they start day one, they can hit the ground running and be prepared.
Fair point. Okay, I'm going to roll 2 questions into one because they're related. And this is in terms of identifying technologists, so sourcing technologists,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So one of the questions came around LinkedIn. How accurate is the information on LinkedIn in your experience for these technologists? And 2, what tools are working best for you to find technologists for your clients?
It's kind of a tricky question, but yes, LinkedIn, it's not 100% accurate.
Really?
Yes, just because you're working. I mean, you don't have time. Every time you learn a new technology, you don't go online immediately and put it in there. You're working with it, you're using it. Based on some of the projects, your portfolio can kind of see what people are working with, but not everyone's going to list everything on there.
Has the response off LinkedIn gone up or down in the last year for you?
It's, I guess, a little bit more.
It's gone up?
A little bit for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie about that. But the other thing is that there's other venues you can look at, because not everybody is on LinkedIn, so you have to find where they hang out, what they do.
Wait a minute, a technologist who's not on LinkedIn? A lot of the companies say if they're not on LinkedIn, I don't want to talk to them.
Oh, that's a big mistake.
Why?
Because, I mean, why do you have to be on LinkedIn? If you're in a certain user group that you can showcase your code and show your portfolio and show the stuff that you're working on that's cool and innovative, you're not going to put it on LinkedIn. You're going to put it in different repositories. You're going to put it on different meetup group pages. You're going to put it somewhere else that other people can comment on it. Maybe it's an open source venue that you can share with other people. Other people in that forum can then comment on it. They can give you more code to work with or different things to do.
So that's some of the other tools you're using. So it's some of those.
Yeah, you have to go.
Proprietary
You have to go where people are.
What are the other tools that you're using? For the recruiters that are all watching this that happen to be in technology, if you gave them the top 3 tools that you think work the best right now, what would they be?
Well, one is for developers specifically, it'd be GitHub.
Yep.
So that's definitely one to go on. It's a little bit trickier because you have to then look at their portfolios, look at the code, and then try to track them down. I use LinkedIn. I think that's fine for doing that. Those are the 2 that I use the most.
Those are the 2 primary ones.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people watching this. Guys, thank you for joining us. This has been another edition of Real Talk in our series for Recruiter Fuel. We'll see you next time.